You can offend someone by not doing proper squats. They will walk over to you and slap you around the face and they'll be like, how dare you? Simon Miller, the bald a-hole here. Thank you for joining me once again. Just quickly, loads of nice people keep saying, Simon, can we have Gerald the Fitness mascot merchandise? And can we have Stanley the Gaines giraffe merchandise? Almost, how can I forget? It means literally a giraffe. I mean, not literally. I was going to throw him down. Never throw down Stanley. Almost called him Gerald. Point is, lots of people have been saying, can we have merchandise? And we can, because we're a family now. We're a team, all part of the BLC. But I need to sell through the other stock of my previous merchandise, because merchandise costs a lot of money. So simonmiller.bigcartel.com. You don't have to buy anything, but if you want to check it out, you can get a BLC t-shirt, you can get a Flexes t-shirt. There's a bunch of other stuff on there. Flexes vests, so you can train with the greatest pun I ever came up. And once I make the money from that, I then put it back into other merchandise and I'll get some designs done. So that's just for everybody that always mentions it. And thank you to everyone who has bought a t-shirt. It still blows my mind that's even a thing. But yes, you've seen the title and you've thrown your protein around the place. You're like, what do you mean I've done squats wrong my entire life? And it's a little bit of a bait and switch. However, it's a fascinating article that I read. It truly blew my brain, and it ties into something that we're always talking about here on the channel, which is that you don't always have to buy into the one-stop shop mentality. It's not just, this is how you do a squat, this is how you do a bench press, this is how you do that, and there's nothing else we can talk about. It always ties into your goals, your targets, and what you actually want to achieve, which is now, of all things, we turn our attentions to NBA basketball. Because yes, coming from the pages of menshealth.com is this article. Elite NBA trainer explains why quarter squats build jumping power. Paul Fabritz, CSCS, which I'm going to say stands for cream, salt, more cream, and sausages. Founder of PJF Performance in Anaheim is changing how elite athletes and regular Joes build their leg power. So this isn't just some random dude, right? This is a guy that not only is really, really smart and has gone out there and done the research, but he's working with NBA players. He's working with flipping James Harden. And he has taken, as the article explains, a Moneyball approach to how he's going about his techniques. Now, I was instantly fascinated by this. If you have seen the Moneyball movie with Brad Pitt, I'm a casual baseball fan, I will say. When I heard about how this guy would basically, he kind of Pokemon'd it, which doesn't even make any sense, but he would look at the statistics and he would work out from the statistics, well, if I need somebody to hit off 4, whatever it is, I don't know the right terms, I will literally go and find someone that has an average of doing that, as opposed to go on form and stuff. I'm going to go on experience, essentially. And that's what this guy has done here. Using exercise science and force plates, which sounds absolutely amazing and sounds like something you could do in Star Wars, he has now proven that if you want to get big muscles in your legs, which we all do, I'm sure if you're watching this channel, but again, it ties into my point we'll get to in a second, you should be doing squats nice and deep, super deep, sometimes lower than 90 degrees and all of that stuff, ass to grass, all the nonsense that comes along with it. But surprise, surprise, if you're building to be an athlete or to be some kind of jumping person or to get that spring in your step, you shouldn't be doing that. And I know a lot of people recommend, I'm not saying that you should all of a sudden change, you should give it a go though and see what happens, but I do know a lot of people recommend squats can only be done one way, no matter what you're training for, because that's just the way that we see squats. So essentially what he's done is he has measured how much force a person can put into the floor. And again, deep squats are great for growing muscle, but quarter squats are better for explosive speed and actually mirroring your jump position. So if your goal is a vertical leap, adding them to your routine is seriously worthwhile. When do you ever hear anybody saying that? You just don't. You can offend someone by not doing proper squats. They will walk over to you and slap you around the face and they'll be like, how dare you not take your ass and go all the way down to the ground and then come back up again? Well, now you can throw this study in your face and you say, look at me, man. I'm 6'10". I'm training to be a basketball player. What do you know, you stupid gym bro? But there's so much information in here, including this paragraph, when they say when you leap, you never actually squat so low that your thighs get close to parallel to the ground. And that's true. If you were going to jump onto a fence, you wouldn't go all the way down and spring up like some kind of jack-in-a-box. Even if you were running, you wouldn't do that because it would kill your momentum. You would use your upper legs to try and get the force that you needed to get on top of the wall. So what we're essentially saying is that we should kill off a huge percentage of our range of motion. And range of motion is something that I've been talking about all the time, but it just goes to show because, of course, when you do the full ROM, it's going to require you to use less weight. That just stands to reason because you got to go all the way down and you got to go all the way back up again. But as Fabritz here says, if you advocate for the quarter squat in large part because it lets you use more weight over a range of motion that mirrors how you jump, all of a sudden you're going to have more power to jump. And then we get into the anatomy of the quarter squat, which really is the most important thing because you want to make sure you're doing it right. The reason number one is your spine. The lower you squat, the more your spine becomes the limiting factor. You're no longer even working on your legs. Hands up if you tweak your back in the gym doing squats. Your hands go up because it's a really dangerous exercise. Of course it is. You're putting a load of weight onto your back and then you're just not kneeling, but squatting. Why didn't I choose that word? And then you're coming back up again. So you haven't warmed up or, life just wants to screw you over, which happens. You are going to injure yourself. Now look, it's not fine, but it's far better if you're doing that for muscle growth. But if you're an athlete and you're not even trying to work it in that sense, it's a waste of your time. So we could tie this in as well. So it means if you are coming back from an injury and you want to reintroduce squats, but you want to reintroduce them slowly and you don't want to put any load onto your back, well, you could probably take advantage of the quarter squat. Now, you have to see it as an exercise that's just working your quads because you're not going to go low enough down where you're using your glutes and your hamstrings and your calves and whatever else may kick in. But that's not the point. It's pretty terrifying when you first go back to the gym, all of a sudden doing these compound movements. But with this, there's another avenue to at least try and give you more confidence and get you back to where you used to be. And reason number 2 ties into that because it's better quad burn. The higher part of your quads is critical for jumping, says Fabriz. Quarter squats let you hit those muscles with heavy weights and stay focused on those muscles. When you drop into a deeper squat, the hamstrings and glutes wind up playing a much larger role, which isn't a bad thing, but does sometimes prevent you from hitting your upper quads. It also goes on to say that if you want to do your hamstrings and your glutes, you could even use deadlifts or cleans or do something else instead. But maybe this is actually a completely different exercise that you could add into your routine. So you can do full-on squats, like all the way down, all the way up, and then twirl around the houses or whatever the hell you want to do. But you could also do quarter squats if you don't think your quads are up to speed with the rest of your body. Like if you look at your deltoids and you think they suck, you do more lateral raises. If you think your chest sucks, you do more bench press, whatever the hell you want to do. And while you can use things like the leg extension to work on your quads, it's always better if you can here and there to bring in a free weight exercise. So boom, you've just done it. Number 3 is the ability to load. And essentially what he is doing with his basketball players is they have to move 1.75 times their body weight. And then when you can do that, he'll move you up and up and up. So that's the same as whatever you're doing now. Like if you're a 200 kilogram person and you feel like you should be doing 50% of your body weight, you do 100 kilograms, but you still want to go up and up and up depending on where you want to be. And then when he is done the classic 2-leg variation, he moves on to single leg variations such as barbell Bulgarian split squats. Now, I guess you would be doing the same thing. Like when we do a split squat at the moment, you go all the way, you put one leg up, one leg down, and you still do the full range of motion. But I'm going to guess here, once again, you're only going 33% or whatever the hell it would be. I think there's something in it. It shouldn't take over your squats. It should if you're an athlete for all the obvious reasons. But if you're just trying to build muscle, I think much like we're always preaching to shake things up in other areas, there is a way to shake up the squat. Reason number 4 is fast twitch, and that's because basketball players have a 0.2 seconds to jump off the floor for a shot. You want to jump fast, so you should train strength and speed with minimal knee bend. You get to do that with the quarter squat. And that's mostly because when you're doing a full squat, it's going to take a lot longer because, again, that's just time management. If I have to walk to the post office and back, it's going to take me a longer time than walking to my fridge and back because my fridge is right there and the post office is miles away. I just thought it was a fascinating article. I mean, you should research this guy. He's got loads of interesting stats and facts. And as always, it's not necessarily going to work for you. But if you are an athlete and maybe you are, and again, it's just one article, you shouldn't change your thing up straight away, but it just may open your eyes a little bit. But it could be something that allows you to get past a certain plateau or whatever. But for the average gym goer that I assume watches my channel, maybe you don't like squats. I get comments like that all the time. I don't like squats for X, Y, and Z, or I can't do it because I have hip issues. Maybe you could try the quarter squat. I don't think that Fabriz is saying it's just for getting explosive jumping power. You're still going to be putting a load onto your quads, but it may be a way that you're actually able to do squats without doing squats. And remember, it doesn't matter if you don't do squats. You should do squats if you can because they're an incredible overall exercise and you're kind of going to be building muscle throughout your entire body, but you just may not want to do it. You may have a vendetta against squats. Maybe squats killed your parents and now you've grown up and you wear a mask and you run around the streets of Gotham City and you are trying to take out squats because you think you're responsible for murdering your parents in a dark alley after you went to the theater. I don't know what your deal is. Now, I understand I've kind of mucked around with the title a little bit. The squat that you're doing at home right now, of course, isn't wrong, as long as you've got the right form, but it is not the be-all and end-all. Don't all of a sudden start doing these instead of squats. But if you really do feel like, oh man, I need something new for legs, and you're doing lunges, leg extensions, hamstring curls, calf raises, whatever else is going on. Split squats, that's another one. I thought I haven't said one. Split squats, there's tons. Legs, people pretend there's no exercises for legs. I'm like, no, you just don't want to work legs, and I get it. Working legs absolutely sucks. I think this sounds good. And I know when I'm able to get back into the gym, I mean, I can't because I can't go to the gym. Although I would go and do squats. No, it doesn't even matter. Point is, when I'm back in the gym and I can actually squat again, I'm definitely going to try that. I think it sounds quite interesting. I think it sounds exciting, and it's based in science. And 9 times out of 10, things based in science usually get you good results. So there you go. A random little conversation for a Tuesday, but I read this article twice. I was like, wow. Because again, if you'd seen someone doing it at the gym, you would just think they were doing it wrong. And you may even go up to them and try and give them advice. But actually, you should always be mucking around with this stuff safely. Health and safety first. Please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. There's the bell, ding, ding. Give it a click. There's another video over there. Click it. Who the hell knows what it's going to be? It probably features me in some fashion. Again, merchandise, simon.bigcartel.com. If you want these two chaps to have their own, that's just the way I've got to do it. Twitter and Instagram at simon316, patreon.com/simon316. Otherwise, if you are going to go out there and try these squats, absolutely get in touch. Let me know if they've helped you, especially maybe you're a dude or a girl trying to build muscle, but also trying to build explosiveness. I would be fascinated to see what happens.